Hey guys, so I'm doing this demo video. Who's over in Romania? So as you see, I've made the call. Next, now telling me how long it's going to, how much it will cost. Now bringing me back. Now ringing. Hey, guys, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, man. You can leave a US number.
I'm testing out the SIM card. Got US numbers.
What's that? I noticed you called me from a US number.
Yeah, it's got a US number on it. I can put any number on it if I want.
Oh, well, hi.
So, right, look, I'll give you a shout back in a bit. Yeah? All right,
Bye.
bye.
Okay, babe.
So that call lasted 49 seconds. So to do a price comparison, so I'm currently in Ukraine at the moment, and prices for my UK network are very, very high. So if I look at my UK SIM card, it costs me £12.50 per megabyte. So that works out $16.34 per megabyte. And this company, WorldSim, so they're a roaming network, one of the largest providers in roaming SIMs for discounted network services. So I'm going to go here where it says EU other free, which is Ukraine. And this is the prices. So if you're calling from Ukraine to UK, for example, it's $2. So because I called into Romania, that comes under the Eurozone. That also costs $2. And here you have other prices for other destinations around the world. But what is going to be very interesting is the fact that it costs $1.50 to receive a call and send an SMS, 59 US cents. And the data here is per 100 kilobytes. So it's not per megabyte, it's per 100 kilobytes. So 1 kilobyte, so this is 1/10 of a megabyte, and it's $1.20. And this company is one of the biggest roaming network providers in the world. It's been around for many, many years. So I'm going to go back to my UK one. So here it's £4 to make a call. So with the World SIM, it was $2. So with my UK contract, it's about $5 to make a call. Receive a call, it's $1.50. We look at here, it works out the same price, $1.50 as well. The SMS is £1, so it's like $1.20 or whatever, $1.25.50. So when we look at the comparison of the World SIM, that is 59 cents. But everybody uses data nowadays, and they don't really use calls. They use WhatsApp, Viber, and Skype. So everyone's using data. I specifically use data. So if you take into consideration, it costs £12.50 on a UK contract, and that is going to be $16. So, but that is actually the same price as it would cost if you were using a French network, German network, American network, Chinese network, and you were roaming in Ukraine. So here I'm going to go back to the Drachmae Mobile. Here you can see DM Comms Mobi. So DM Comms Mobi is actually the main portal. So here, as you can see, I've put Ukraine from country to. Cost is 32 cents for 1 megabyte of internet. Now, what is very interesting about is the Drachmae is unlike the World SIM. or my UK. As a user, you can actually log into your account and you can choose which network. So here I'm logged on to LifeCell because it's the cheapest one. So it costs me 49 cents to ring a remote. It costs me 51 cents to ring a mobile, and to receive a call 48 cents. So it's on average about a quarter cheaper to make a phone call. It's like 75% discount compared to the World SIM, and it's like 250% discount compared to my UK contract. Then on the SMS, it's half the price and a quarter of the price, under a quarter of the price of the UK contract. And my internet, it's 32 cents per megabyte. So if you calculate what my UK contract is, $16, this works out something crazy like over 90% saving. And when you take a look at the actual World SIM, that's $1.20 for 100 kilobytes. So that's $12 actually for 1 megabyte. It's 32 cents on the Drachmae network, so it means it's much more cheaper. So if I also take a look at ringing the UK, for example, it's 19 cents to make an SMS, 50 cents, 51 cents to make a phone call, so it's near the same price. If I go to United States, 50 cents an SMS. So when you look at the World SIM, they charge a flat rate of, let's say, $2 to make a phone call and upwards. This varies depending on country and destination. So it can be more dearer in other places. So if let's take a very expensive one, which should be Cuba. Yeah, so as you can see here, it changes price to $2, $2.19. So if I quickly have a look over here, Australia, Middle East, United States, South Caribbean. So it's $2.25. So it's not that great much of a discount. It's still much more. It's still a lot less than the world. It's still about 15, 20 cents less than the World SIM, and it's still cheaper, much cheaper than the UK contract. So inside here for the billing, as you see, this is the call, 49 cents. Shows you the time. This is based on GMT in the UK. This is a number I called. Here you can buy your top up, so you'll be able to buy top ups using the DT token and cash. So what will happen is if you're using cash to buy your top ups, your SIMs and handsets, you get rewarded DT token in the same format as a loyalty token, and you can also use it to purchase back goods. Here we have a data meter, so you can see how much data you use. Now, one of the very interesting things with the Drachmae network is it does not work like any traditional SIM. It works over 206 countries and over 360 providers. So when I say over 360 providers, World SIM uses partnership agreements that could be using the passporting service of Vodafone, for example, or another major network. So it means that with the when you're roaming abroad, like here, you can choose which network you go on, and the prices are very different. It means that basically you don't have that with World SIM. You can't choose which network. They don't pass on the savings. So here you can choose which network to go on to. And the one very good reason for doing that is it enables small operators to be used. So LifeCell, which I'm using, currently connected onto, it's a very small operator because it works everywhere in Ukraine. Vodafone and Kyivstar have a very big coverage, what actually Lifecell do as well, but not as big. So it means smaller operators in countries also get some of your business, and that's why they're cheaper, because they wouldn't normally get any of the roaming business because it's tied up between the big networks. So it actually disrupts the roaming, international roaming agreements, which big telcos have, and what they pass on to other roaming SIM card networks, because they don't pass on the savings and they have to use the tariffs provided by their roaming network partner. So instead of having a partner, the Drachmae network has partners in 206 countries individually. So this was just a quick demo to demonstrate the prices and just quickly show how it works. It's very, very straightforward. And we're also releasing some very small handsets, which will basically run on, they look like a credit card. They're very small. So they're very good for throwaways. We're also playing around with some new little handsets, and we're looking to be able to provide those Android handsets, and we're looking to be able to provide those for around $50 to $60, including the SIM card and including some data, some calling airtime as well, for around $50 to $60. That's our goal, because then it makes it very affordable for countries in Africa to have a smartphone. But on top of that, some of the targets we're doing with SIM cards is that private keys are stored on the SIM card, and that you'll be able to make transactions via cryptocurrency via the SIM, and also we can possibly overlap it with a Visa or MasterCard, so you can actually use anything whereas a Visa MasterCard via NFC. But the main focus is to be able to also activate it for financial inclusion, so people can use SMS regardless of their handset or if it's not a smartphone. And there's many, many ways of making transactions, not just phone calls, which makes it an ideal solution for travelers. So hopefully you understand the video, and you can see the benefits in the savings of SIM card, and you have a little bit of a more understanding on what the communications and the blockchain is all about.